the local Long Island band, Third Rail.
And this morning we have Joe and Phil from Third Rail.
Today, West Houston presents Third Rail.
My name's Philip. I'm the lead singer of the band. I play keyboards and guitar, and I write with Joe.
I am Joe, as Philip just said, and I play guitar, drums, keyboards, a little bit of everything.
Sax,
Accordion, that's an important one. Me and some friends, we kind of started the band after some other summer band project fell apart right before a gig. So we had some of my friends' band fill in with us. And right after that, me and the two guys in the band at the time, we walked right off the stage up to our drummer and now guitar player, Billy Bird, and we asked him, hey, you want to be in the band? So he joined. All of a sudden, John, one of the other kids in the band, he goes, yeah, I got this other kid, Philip, and he's going to play keyboard. So I'm like, oh man, I know Philip. He's a little weird. But
100%. Coming there was definitely a weird experience because I wasn't close with anyone there. But it was like, you know what, why not? It gives me something else to do. It'll encourage me to learn a bit more piano and get better at it and possibly pick up the guitar too, and I did.
We were sitting at my kitchen table and we were throwing some ideas around, thinking about, what are we going to call this new band that's probably going to be happening. So I'm like, let me look through the newspapers. And of course, Third Rail is the Long Island Railroad project. So two of the guys in the band actually lived on that path where the track would go, and they would have got displaced. We said, this is all over the headlines. It would affect our band if this were to go through, so let's call it Third Rail.
Joe and I really collaborate often, and that's been the way it's been for a long time.
Yep.
In general, I'll come up with a very rough chord structure, lyrics, and voice.
And then he calls me on the phone, and then I say,
Editing is probably the biggest part of it, trying to figure out how to get lyrics to sound just like you want them, not to be like just, I kind of wrote this in an hour, here, I'm done, but to refine it 100 times or whatever.
We usually don't have really any creative conflicts. We usually find a nice medium between things and figure out what works. Usually, it's like Philip said, it's just trying to keep him on track. And
in general, though, having someone like Joe who's very, straightforward, gets things done very precisely, very well composed, versus me, who is, almost certifiably insane. Probably am. I will go on a tangent for an hour and not do anything, whereas Joe is like, let's get to it, let's get this thing done, let's get it done 3 times just to make sure we really know it well.
That's right.
But having that chemistry kind of works well because it makes us bounce ideas off of each other very rapidly and come up with things you wouldn't normally think of. If you have 2 people that think the same, you're not going to get anything different.
I think one of the most satisfying things is when you play a song in front of a large group of people, that response you get, the cheers and the clapping and screaming and dancing, that's what I do it for. Some of the most satisfying thing you could get after playing a song.
My goal is to just get the music out there and heard by people, anywhere it can be, because being famous, getting money, having all that is wonderful. But I'd be happy just having these songs out there heard by people, and maybe give people something where they can be like, someone else knows what I'm feeling right now. But all in all, if my songs can help people, that is more satisfying than any amount of money or fame could ever bring.
I think as time moves forward, I think you're going to start to see probably the style of writing change a little bit, because when you first start writing, before you have anything out, before you have a real following, you more write for yourself, because you don't really have any feedback on it. Nobody's ever heard it before. So we'll see what people think of the songs. And I think, like a lot of bands, you hear their first 1 or 2 albums kind of sounds a lot different than some of their later work. So I'm interested to see how that's going to change as time goes on, and what's going to happen, how the style is going to develop, what new styles we'll start incorporating, what new artists and new genres we start to listen to, because we're listening to new stuff every day. So I think that'll be interesting to see down the line. A lot of the time, my life is just totally consumed by, the music with Phil.
For me, a day in my life, it's a lot of music all around 5 days a week. It's always a privilege to be able to share my music. Joe and I have been together so long, we're starting to think alike, and it scares me.
It scares me more.